want to tell you guys a little story. When I was young, I was bullied. Some of those bullies might watch this video. I was extremely bullied first couple years of high school because honestly I had a fat mouth and I was 6 foot tall and 140 pounds, and learned lessons the hard way, and eventually ended up not being a bully and not really liking bullies after a short stint of kind of becoming the bully. So been on both ends of that spectrum. Friend of mine, Chelsea, basically asked me one time, because she had a good view of me, like a positive view on me, but she asked me why I was being rude to people, basically. Kind of just called me on my shit, and that really affected me, and I don't know if she knows that, but Chelsea, shout out. And I kind of stopped. I was like, man, I don't want to be a dick. Why would I want to be a dick? Anyway, point of this is bullies exist, and sometimes they're in the form of a sibling or a spouse or someone close at work, or people that are very close to you can be bullies ultimately. And this is not a reflection of my life, what I'm talking about right now. My wife is not a bully, she's a softie. So I just want to clear that up. But don't ever let someone else's view of your worth dictate how you see yourself, because it's a very dangerous game if you go down the rabbit hole of kind of putting your worth in how other people see you. The reality of it is, we hear it, but we don't understand it when we're young, or even when we're old and don't have a lot of life experience. But it really does boil down to loving yourself and knowing what you are to the world, because then people's words don't affect you the same way, because they don't mean anything to you. Like, if someone thinks I'm a piece of shit, it doesn't bother me, because I know that I'm not. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what anyone tells me, I won't believe it. And it took me a long time to get to that space. It took a lot of self-development and learning and experience, but I grew up putting absolute value on what everyone else thought of me, and I found my life to be much more enjoyable and successful since I stopped doing that. And quite frankly, I don't really think I stopped doing that until I was probably somewhere between 25 and 27 years old. So 5-6 years ago. Getting old. But if you're one of those people, if you do, even down to your parents, man, if you're obsessed with making your parents happy and pleased, which I definitely grew up that way, and that wasn't their fault, that was my fault. And I'm still, when it comes to people in authority over me, like the owner of the company that I work for, it's very important to me that he holds a high opinion of me. But it's because it has a direct impact on my family. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that not caring anything about what anyone thinks is a good thing, because it's not. But if you're basing your value of yourself, if when people say nasty things to you, it gets you down, particularly on the internet. Like, you're talking to someone on the internet and they say things about you and it bothers you, it's insecurity. It's just what it is. It's insecurity, and not having that self-love, and not knowing that you are doing good. And if you look in the mirror and you're not happy with what you see, then you need to make some changes. And I've done that, and I continue to do that. And the best thing I can tell you, if you kind of just feel lost in life, and don't feel like you have a lot of self-worth, and you're really relying on others building you up, and the best thing you can do is start investing in yourself. Say it over and over again, but reading or listening to books, learning new information, there's nothing more powerful than someone having put 15,000 hours into a subject and taking everything that person put into thoughts to give you, and learning that way. Because if you do that over and over again, you can become pretty woke. You know what I mean? Enlightened. I guess overall, if you can't figure out how to get past that, shoot me a comment, and we'll connect on another platform or something, and I'll give you some suggestions on some places to start with self-development. And I think people think negatively on self-development, but everybody should do it. And if you don't try to develop yourself, your life is bound to stay the exact same. And if that's what you want, as always, keep rolling with it, bro. But if it's not and you want to grow, you got to challenge yourself and learn. Value yourself. Peace.